My name is Rizan Niazi, and I'll be presenting the document today. I'm a CX manager. I've been with Chalhoub since 2019. I've worked on creating the CX program from scratch, working with my manager. So today we're going to cover just the context, who we are, what is really the CX program, and we're going to deep dive into the CX education mindset. So I'll give you a little bit of context. In 2018, Chalhoub embarked on a transformation journey. They knew that they have to change and evolve from a B2B to a B2C model, making sure that they are where the customers are present, essentially. So they wanted to become a hybrid retailer. They want to make sure that luxury experiences reach all customers everywhere. And to do that, they needed to accelerate on the transformation that started in 2018. So 300 days later, the CX program was created and the CX team. We are here to support the group's transformation and to make sure we have a customer-centric culture, because we know going hybrid and changing the mindsets and changing the way we do things requires also adoption at all different levels. And to do that, we needed customer centricity. So our job was to enable businesses to break silos. We wanted to evolve the traditional sales mindset, and we want to encourage omni-channel transformation on all different levels. So the CX program is made of 4 pillars. The first one is education and mindset, because we know without it, we wouldn't have been able to implement any of the remaining pillars. Followed by strategy and design, which we helped brands design and map their CX strategy. Implementation, which we took the design to implementation and actions. Measurement is to help the group measure its impact on CX. So our CX program had a top-down model. It started with brand assessment, brand selection, and then we launched. The brand assessment, we had the CEO involved, the beauty and fashion brands presidents involved, then the GMs. All of them helped us understand which brands should we choose in terms of willingness, in terms of maturity, in terms of resources. And also in terms of business impact, like we knew if we took some of these brands, what impact will they have on the business? And we POC'd with a couple of brands. We also worked with supporting services because we knew we needed everyone's help, and we appointed CX champions to make sure that these things are implemented at frontliner and back of house levels. So if I dig into the CX program's mindset and education, you'll find a few around 6 initiatives, and we rolled them out across the year. We had several expected results, such as impact on average spend, impact on conversion rate, impact on decreasing churn rate, and making sure that we improve processes and we seek new opportunities and by improving customer lifetime value. So the first one, which I'm very proud of, was the CX Academy. We had a 12-week program with 18 champions appointed, and those were representing the brands that we selected. At the end of the day, we selected 10 priority brands. With the 2 brands from fashion and beauty that we POC'd with. They were a proof of concept, and they remain the brands that we're working on today. For the CX Academy really really helped them understand what is CX and understand how to map it and how to design their own CX journeys. From out of the 18, 78% completed and were certified by Forrester. They were officially our CX champions. We moved to having a CX hackathon, where it was a gamified experience where around 5 brands joined for 2 days to crack and hack their own CX. This had 2 folds. One, to generate buzz and foster the mindset of what is CX and customer centricity. And the second one is to actually accelerate on brands designing their own CX strategy. We had 5 brands and we had 50 employees attending the event. We created a dynamic experience. I'll show you a video in just a bit. And we had also a lot of fun doing it. There's no sound. That was a really exciting event that helped us really keep the momentum as we had it in the middle of the year in the summer. So we kept the momentum of CX and what is it and got people excited to and get to know us and what we do. And also to complement that, we created with our own learning and development team, we created CX and Retail Academy, which is an already existing establishment, which helps a lot of the frontliners go through trainings and upskilling on their own retail related skills. So what we did is we co-designed with L&D CX training that is fitting of frontliners. We launched we completed the training of 100% of frontliners from 2 brands. It helped them shift from traditional sales to a customer-centric mindset. We saw an increase of 57% in our CLV versus last year through having all of these frontliners inducted in our customer experience foundational training. Another one is we made sure that we create and foster a community to keep the organization excited about CX. We kept them also up to date. We involved them in a lot of category leading, knowledge-based information and webinars, and a lot of making sure that they are in the know of what is CX and what's new in the world of CX. We also created our own CX values for the retail employees through that community. We had a small budget of 3%. We had 830 internal attendees at Customer Engagement Week, so that's one of the events we created. We had 12,000 employees receive the CX monthly newsletter, and we had 600 internal attendees in the CX virtual hackathon in KSA. And I'll show you a small video after this. And before our last two, we also made sure that we cascade CX as part of the performance KPIs on the different levels of employees, especially with our POC brands. And we saw a lot of our brands most of the brands adopted 5 to 10% as part of their performance KPI, and 100% application to all the employees for both of the brands. We wanted to make sure we did this because we wanted to make sure that CX become business as usual and not seen as a temporary project. We in late 2019 we created the VOC program, which was, to be honest, at that time manual, and we only POC'd with a few brands. 2020 and now 2021 we're moving into further automation and sophistication by moving to a better tool. But the whole idea is making sure that we avoid failure as a CX program by linking CX metrics to business, by linking the impact of CX to the business and the language that our C-level understands. We need to make sure that we meet and exceed CX metrics global benchmarks. We established a holistic approach to VOC that included multiple data sources such as customer care, mystery shopping, focus groups, interviewing our customers, interviewing our frontliners, and understanding what our customers talking about from their point of view. We expect around 1.6 million incremental sales, and we have collected more than 5K VOC feedback in half a year. So this concludes the presentation for customer-centric culture. As you can see, we've done a lot, and we are still doing a lot to make sure that this is something part of Chalhoub and Chalhoub's DNA. What helped us a lot that this has been a group priority for the last 3 years, and that pushed its impact on the business. And that's it. Now I will be moving to questions. What we've received from you guys is 3 questions. So I'll start with the first one, and I have 5 minutes. So which CX metrics did you use? As you can see, we did focus on NPS and CSAT and CES, as those are global benchmarks, and we wanted to make sure that we had them, but also we looked at retention, acquisition, frequency, AOV, and UPT, which is the unit per transaction. And we want to see the impact that we had on all of these, and specifically for the brands that we worked with. What results? So the results that we gathered that honestly our NPS and CSAT were on par with global benchmarks, if not above. Our POC brand, one of our POC brand kept an NPS around between 60 and 70 throughout the year. Obviously, the pandemic really impacted it. CSAT was always 80% and above, regardless of the pandemic or not, which is great. It helped put a metric on what is a good customer experience and what's not. And now this year we're focusing on the impact of NPS in a different way. What happens when we action negative experiences? So our target right now is to save 6% at-risk customers or detractors and increase promoters by 1% while maintaining 80% of CSAT. Throughout the year or quarterly basis. And we managed to link and understand how much detractors spend, how much promoters spend, and how much passive spends. And we created a business case, understanding if we were to move customers from one segment to another, how much money can we generate? And that gave us a great level of, let's say, commitment from the brands, as especially again in pandemic, this became crucial for us to save our customers and to be there and to personalize experiences. Number 2, which models have you used to assess the financial success of the customer-centric cultural transformation? We on top of the CX metrics that we put, and we made sure that CX metrics are collected after transaction on retail, after e-com transaction, and after customer care transaction. We're going to introduce after delivery as well this year. But also we managed to link all of these to brand, store, and frontliner, and we were able to understand if this was an impact from a frontliner or the store has been lagging or the brand itself. We also selected priority stores, which we focused on. So let's say for one brand, we had 5 stores, and we understand the impact of CX transformation versus last year. And we noticed an direct impact on number of transactions, direct impact on acquiring new customer, direct impact on conversion rate, and AOV. This was very interesting for us. And we also noticed from the beginning that stores that had high NPS usually correlated with them having high AOV, which is average order value. Number 3, please share more about how competitive hackathons was planned and how it went. So we had a timeline. I have 1 minute to go. So we had a timeline. We had 10 brands to design their customer experience strategy for. We managed to conclude 3. And we wanted to accelerate it, and we also wanted the brand to get really involved instead of us doing it for them. So we decided we want to gamify it a little bit, and we decided to run a hackathon, which is for them to hack their own customer experience, and for them we give them the tools and the induction and data, their own data, in a way that they can use it. And we gamified it in a way we had a winner, and it helped them put them in the mindset where customer centricity is key. To be honest, it was a success. We had a great time. There was so much buzz and there was so much commitment, and it turned into more of internal PR of what is customer experience. And we had everyone engaged. And that also later on helped us pick up what was left and to work on it with them, brand by brand. So yeah, I hope I answered all your questions, and thank you for listening. Okay, we can stop recording.